Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Conversations with Nicole Show. I'm Nicole Huckabee. My guest today is Varun Aggarwal, a talented actor based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I actually had the opportunity to work alongside Varun. He's fantastic. I knew then I had to have him as a guest on my show. He's originally from India, and he's going to share his remarkable journey from a young movie enthusiast to a professional actor. You'll discover how Varun's early passion for motion arts sparked his dream of acting. He also shares his experiences and roles in TV and movies. I really hope you enjoy our conversation. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am delighted to have as my guest today Varun Aggarwal. He is a friend now that we've had the opportunity to work together, but he is an actor based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Varun, welcome to my show.
Thank you so much, Nicole. That was a very sweet introduction. Yes, we are friends. I like to believe so. And it's always happy when I get to run into you, be it at the premieres, be it, shooting for Break the Cycle. Every single time has been fun. And I
Uh,
love looking at your Instagram too. I mean, you're pretty cool with the stuff you do,
oh my,
along with your husband.
you
Yeah.
just call me cool? Could someone tell my children that?
Well, I have the same difficulty. I have an almost 6 year old, and yeah, he's the same. He doesn't think I'm cool. He thinks I'm a very good actor, but I'm not cool.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Kind of the same in my circumstance. My kids think I did a pretty good job of being a news anchor and all my years of experience in news, but they do not think I'm cool. So I guess it's a parent thing, right?
Generational, yeah. I don't think, I mean, I come from a very loving childhood where my parents were, they were equally very loving. And even then, I don't think they were cool, but yeah, they were very loving. So I think it's a generational thing.
I think so too. Well, listen, that's a perfect lead in to sharing with my audience about yourself. You just shared that you have a young son, but tell
Mhm.
my audience, your background, your childhood. You are from India and then came to the US. So walk us through your life.
Absolutely. So yes, I was born, raised, and spoiled in a city called Chandigarh in India. It's in the north, closer to the Himalayas. In fact, we are called the foothills of the Himalayas. So, contrary to the belief that India is hot and humid, I grew up with all four seasons. I saw winter, which was colder than what I see here, and it was all fun. Um, a cool tip about the city I come from, and I actually prepared this, is I know the spelling are a little confusing, but just search for BBC, as in the British Broadcasting Corporation's Most Perfect City 2016, and it was actually awarded to my city. So you'll know it's a pretty cool place, and I'm using the word cool again and again, but I guess that's the theme.
That's a great,
Uh,
that's a great cool tip or something we didn't know. Thank you for that fun fact.
Well, you're welcome. So, yeah, so I grew up in India. I grew up in Chandigarh. Work is initially what brought me to America. It was roughly 11 years ago, and I was in Houston working with Chevron, not the gas station, but the corporate. So that brought me here, and while working, I was okay doing my 8 to 5 job, but after 5 p.m., I just didn't know what to do. I mean, I could go to Indian restaurants, I could look for Indian people, yes. But there was this one thing that came from my childhood. I had done theater in India for 7 8 years, so I just wanted to get back in. So I went to watch this show. I still remember. I don't remember the name, but it was something to do with our late president's JF Kennedy's assassination. So I just got to hang out. And sorry, I have to cut myself here and say. I didn't know as much about the American history as I do today. So back then, it was for me a play, and I was just witnessing it, and my mind was blown. And after the show, I got to hang out with the cast, and I asked them, "Is there a good acting studio here where I can go and learn some um, acting and try my hand?" That's where I met my first coach, and eventually I came to Charlotte. I've been in Charlotte for 8 and a half years. I'm pretty much settled here. I have, like I said, an almost 6 year old. So yeah, and I love this city. It's great.
Yeah, wow, that's quite the journey. So you really took a leap of faith to leave India to come to the US to start over. So I can't imagine what it was like for you starting over. So kind of walk us through a little bit of the unknowns when you got here.
The unknowns are real, but uh, I don't know. They never, scared me. So what I mean is, like I said, when I first came here, and I remember I was working on this one idea. Back then, I had this idea that, someone comes to a new country, it's a very different language, very different culture. And what if you lose your memory in the first 2 or 3 days due to some accident, and then you're just like a child, right? You don't know anything. You just learn from your surroundings. You learn from people who are around you. So eventually, I realized that's the approach I took. I was a newborn child. I didn't know any better, and I was just saying hello to everybody because they were smiling at me, which never happened in India. So it was a great experience. You learn from it. I mean, if people are warm, which they are, and so accepting, it just becomes easy. Uh, the main part was it was I mean there was a lot of cultural difference, of course, that's bound to be, but yeah, eventually if you come from a place where you want to learn and you want to share also, um, kind of everything becomes easy. It became easy for me.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great way to think about it as just being a young child starting over. So you really came over, and I think when we're younger, we really don't have the fears. We don't have anything
Yeah,
built up yet because we haven't gotten there yet. The older we get, the more we start to worry about things, fear things. When you're younger, you're fearless. So that's a great mindset to have had when you came to America. So you already had a little bit of love for acting and the arts and that sort of thing. You get over
yeah.
here and you say, I want to start that. So tell me about the first things that you started to do, where you first started getting your first gig, so to speak. Walk me through that.
Sure, and that was actually in Charlotte. Initially, I was doing theater. So TV and movies was never the plan. It was just to do, community theater and just keep myself immersed with it. I did it for a couple of years. I worked with Shakespeare Carolina on a play which was not Shakespeare, Man in the Iron Mask, and then I got to do Fahrenheit 451 with Three Bone Theater. They're an amazing theater group here in Charlotte. I just want to give them a shout out. It's run by the women and some pretty amazing women. I just love them. So while doing that, it was great. Life was fun. And when I and my ex we decided on having a baby and we finally got pregnant, I realized giving a project 2.5 months at a time is just not possible because you have rehearsals 5 nights a week, and then you're going for the show. So it is roughly 2 to 2.5 months. So that's when I kind of quit acting and thought, okay, what do I want to do next? I mean, if acting's not going on. And that's when, and I give huge credit to my ex, she suggested, hey, why don't you try TV and movies? It was great. The first year was all about being background or being Dr. Patel, playing the stereotype. So I was Dr. Patel in a million things, and it was everything was good. It was a one-liner here and there. And then things changed in 2022 where and again a huge shout out to Charlotte 48 Hour Film Festival, and I went for the audition. I was already taking classes with Dodge Acting Studio. uh, my main coach, Pat Dodge, he's amazing,
I
like,
am. He's our friend. Yes.
yes, and
Oh,
I
really?
love him. Like, I give all the credit for any work that I've put in to him, even with Break the Cycle. I mean, it was Pat. I mean, I worked with him on the audition and then, talked to him about a lot. So he's always been that, big brother, mentor, friend. He's always been there. And I love you, Pat, if you're watching this. Things started moving, and I was on 48-hour auditions, and I had this really cool audition where a few filmmakers were like, okay, we want you on our team. um, Came the competition, and I worked with nobody. But then I think they saw something, and they're really good friends today here in the Charlotte film community. Uh, something happened, and over the next year or so, I worked with almost every one of them. Um, and yeah, after that, it was a little bit of a challenge for 6 months, and then I got out of it, and then eventually, like a month later, I had break the cycle. So yeah, things changed pretty quickly when they started to change. Like otherwise, it was like, okay, I'm just doing this thing because I enjoy, and I love being on set, or I love being on stage. And someone's giving me something, and that's good enough. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's awesome, Varun. I so enjoyed working with you, and I love your outlook, your perspective on acting. I think
Thank you.
we're gracious and open to what's out there and can be thankful for it. I really feel like the blessings keep coming back. I mean, you have such a following. First of all, you're talking about Break the Cycle. That was a movie that was made originally by JC Films
Mhm.
Studios, and they featured Cyril Prabhu, an individual who founded Proverbs 226. And so they come and they do faith based Christian movies. So you were the main actor for Break the Cycle, which was the story of Cyril Prabhu, also our dear friend now. And that's where you and
Uh-huh.
I met. So I'm just trying to give people the backstory of what Break the Cycle is. I say all of that to say that when we've had a couple of premieres for Break the Cycle, you have just been adored and loved, and people were just so excited for your performance and for your success, myself included. It was really just so exciting to see how people rallied behind you. And I think that's pretty special. I don't know that that happens all the time in acting because I'm really new to the game, but I can tell you, I enjoyed seeing people show their love for you. How did that feel?
I was numb, honestly, and I'll go one night before the premiere, the first premiere last year, August. One of my close friends asked me, "Are you scared?" I'm like, "That's the thing. I'm not scared. Tomorrow, for the first time, I'm gonna see myself on a big screen, and yeah, I'm numb." Uh, so I think, I mean, I like to believe that I did pretty well in that moment. Uh, yeah, I think eventually, as an actor or in anything you do, that's what you thrive for. That not just the appreciation part of it or the fame part of it. Fame is, just a byproduct. We don't really care, but it's like it's affecting the people. The best I could hear that night was that most people came out crying out, from the theater, and they loved the movie. They realized that something amazing was actually happening around them. That moved them a lot. And for me, that was the biggest prize. Like, I can be Cyril Prabhu 1,000 different ways, but and there can be 1,000 actors who can be doing that job. But somehow, after all these years, there's someone who selected me.
Yeah.
And I just, get to be the carrier of what Cyril Prabhu and Proverbs 2 to 6 wants to say. I remember these 4 or 5 years that I had been working as an actor in Charlotte. Most of the cast is actually from Charlotte, right? So I have met most of the people, and I have wanted to work with them, but things didn't align. And then in one go, I actually got to work with all these stalwarts. Like, these are the names of Charlotte community and outside. Um, and I was like, I've already won. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to just work with people. And then, of course, there were kids in the movie. In fact, my first day on set was all the scenes with kids. That was the day I was scared because I didn't know. Yeah, kids can be so
Unpredictable.
unpredictable. That's the word. I was trying to go for something nice, but yes, unpredictable. Uh, so yeah, that was great. It's like, oh my god, okay, they have so much energy, they have so much to give to this scene, and they are giving it. I have to step up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but that was such a good experience, mind you. And I have to tell you something cool that really happened with me on the first day of this shoot. Um, my first performance in theater was at Winthrop University
Yeah. That's where I
in
went to
in
school.
Rock Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and then, when we first shot for this movie, that first day was actually shot very near to Winthrop University. And I was like, oh my God, this is like 6 years, 7 years later, I'm coming back to the same place. Back then, it was my first play. Now it is my first movie. I mean, I have some connection. I
Love that.
love going back to Rock Hill whenever I feel like, something's not going right for me. I just go there and I'm like, okay, yeah, now something's going to happen. Something good's going to come out. So yeah, I mean, it was eventually that day was about celebrating Cyril, and every person who told me that they were moved by the story, that just gave me the belief that okay, I was a vessel, I was just someone who was carrying the story, but there's the man who deserves all this and way more. Like we know what he's done. Like it's incredible. It's something that I mean, as a human, I can only dream of. I don't know if I would ever be able to do something like that. So yeah, all kudos to him, all prayers and all love to Cyril Prabhu and his family. I mean, me, you, anyone on the cast or the crew could do justice to giving him the uh,
The recognition,
the
the
recognition, the accolades he deserved.
kudos,
Yeah.
yeah, to show his incredible life. I mean, I felt the same way you did. I thought I am not even worthy of being here, but I
Yeah.
so thankful and blessed that I could be a part of something so special,
Yeah.
so special. And it was incredible. So you get this movie, you're doing so well. What's next for Varun?
So, like I mentioned, I've recently done MLC, and that kind of excited me. Being there and being able to uh, and then another anecdote where I was at MLC and I'm interviewing, the spectators or the audience, and I'm interviewing one, and then we go and we are off air. We are not being shown on camera, and then I get, hey, can I go interview more people? I mean, I'm just loving this. They were, of course, talking about cricket. They were talking about their favorite teams, and most of them come from the South Asian community. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So we all share that passion for cricket, and we are really hopeful it catches up because it's a great game. And I don't mean to kind of promote it, but yeah, really I really hope it catches up. Talking about my next projects, I have a couple of things. I've been auditioning actively. I do have an agent in Atlanta, Barbara Garvey with East Coast Talent, and she's phenomenal. I've been with her for 3 years. So yeah, right now it's audition and working on 48 hours. So I'm excited about that.
That's great. I think that it's hard to really explain to folks what it is when you have to audition and then you wait and you hope and you think, well, why didn't I get something? I mean, I thought I really nailed that audition, or what could I have done better? It really is oftentimes not a reflection upon your performance. It's a reflection upon whatever the casting director is looking for.
Right.
It might be that for me, we already have the blonde girl who's 50 something years old, and like
Yeah.
you just didn't make the cut because of that, or we were looking for the brunette or whatever. So walk through the process of how you handle the world of acting and not getting discouraged.
One of the things that I talk to fellow actors about is uh, you have to do your best take in auditions. Like that is real acting.
Yeah.
If you can make the cut. Now think about being on set. I'm sure if I assume as an actor, you're prepared for your lines, you know how you need to look, you know everything, right? So when you go on set, you are following the process, which is pretty simple. You give your best take, you send the audition in, and then you might hear back from your agent or the casting director, you might not. But in that time, you are already working on yourself. Okay, at the acting classes with the community, that's where we grow as an actor. We go to acting classes, and I promise that is one of the things you first hear. You go to any acting studio, any acting class, that's the first thing.
So for those that, may be interested in acting, what is your best advice?
So I got 2 points. One is very simple. Uh, your auditions are your best take. See, once you have cracked the audition, you got the part, and you have to go on set. As an actor, I'm sure you're prepared. Like you know your lines, you know what you need to do. You have had rehearsals, or you have that comfort, you're prepared. It is the audition that matters. It is here you give your best take and tell the casting director, you know what, I'm worth it. And the second is never judge your process. Like, and I'll say this from one of my theater days. And he's a very good friend of mine. He's one of the actors I won't name. So his process was right before we went on stage, he would just lay flat down on his belly on the floor. He would do yoga, he would do meditation, he would chant. It was so cool. I mean, looking at him back then, like I'm talking about 8 years ago, it felt like, oh my God, he's doing so many things. Do I need to do it too? Don't fall into that trap. Trust your process. It's your process. You know it better. Of course, you want to make it better. So if you see something, try it. But if it works, great. If it doesn't, leave it. Everyone has their own way of approaching any role. No two people are similar.
Yeah.
And if you've been selected for you. You do your drills, you go there, you do what you know best, and that's it. So trust your process.
Trust the process. That's great
Yeah.
advice, Varun. I love that. I love that. So, as we close, what is your ultimate goal? Do you have something that you really want to say, I got in this, or I made this? Or is it just a continuation of, I'm living my best life because I'm a dad and because I am get to do this, and whenever the opportunities fall, I'm good? Tell me.
So I'll put it this way because I'm glad you said the dad part. And this is me every day. I promise. I mean, it's not for the interview or not for anything. I wake up every morning happy, and I wake up every morning knowing that I have a son to raise. And when your goal is that simple, everything becomes easy. I mean, everything comes after it. So I know I want to do things, but I think the end goal is to just be, someday my son saying, you know what, you're the best dad ever. And he says that, mind you, and it's the best feeling ever. So that drives me. That's one thing I want to maintain and do better at. Uh, and as an actor, I mean, so I do have a day job. In case people don't know, I work with one of the banks here in Charlotte. So the thing is, when I go on set, my motivation is not, I'm not doing this only for money or fame or anything. I go there because I'm happy. I go there because I want to do this. I might not be the best, but I know I'm going to give it my best. And that just inspires me that, okay, I'm fortunate enough, God is kind that I am getting these opportunities to just do what I want to do. So I can't really complain.
That's
I
good
can't really
stuff,
complain with that.
Varun. I love that. First of all, you are the best dad, and one day he will say you are the coolest dad.
Oh man, that's the goal. That's the goal. I think yeah, that would have been a great roundup to where we began. So good. Yeah.
And I love that you said, I may not be the best, but I'm going to give it my best. And that's really what we're all called to do. Give it our best, no matter what role we're playing, whether it's
Yeah.
dad, or it's an actor, playing a role in a movie, TV, or whatever the case may be. Listen, it has been an absolute joy to have you on my show. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for what you're doing to make us all know that we can succeed in life. We can give it our very best. And how can folks keep up with you and your acting and all that's going on in your life?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for having me on this show. I mean, again, I want to say it out loud. A man from India who came here 11 years ago, and on his first movie, he gets to work with Nicole, and we have this scene where she's interviewing me, and well, today, cut to today, where I'm sitting right here, and we are talking about all of this. This is surreal, or as we say, surreal. So all the love and all the prayers to him for the amazing work he's doing. Uh, Anyone who wants to check out my work, please, my handles everywhere is at the rate acting Varun. Hit me up if you have seen Break the Cycle or what you thought about it, or if you like any of my work. Yeah, I would love to hear from you,
We're
and I would love to hear from you, Nicole. It's
Well,
wonderful.
you're not getting rid of me. We're always going to be friends.
Yeah.
As you were saying that, I do remember my line was, how does a man come all the way from India to do work in the prisons? And I didn't know your backstory at the time, but how does a man from India come all the way here to be an actor? And here I am asking you that question.
I know, and I was actually thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, okay, you were interviewing me as a character 1.5 years ago, and here I am talking to you. This for me is happy. I mean, what else can I ask for? So yeah, I'm
Really
glad.
kind, and I'm humbled and honored that you took the time to talk to me. I think you're amazing, and I know that our paths will continue to cross in years to come, and that
100%. Yeah,
excites me. If it doesn't, I'm tracking you down to say, meet me for coffee in Charlotte, so we can get.
most definitely. I'm all in, and always looking forward to meet you and then talk to you. So yeah,
Absolutely, Varun. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
thank you, Nicole, and I'll talk to you. Bye.
And that will do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.